I know we just finished one of the most ambitious build challenges I have ever attempted, but I'm gonna do it again. Only this time, instead of princesses, we're doing Disney villains. For this build challenge, I built an 8-lot neighborhood. Decided not to go with 16 lots this time so that the challenge didn't take another 6 months. I asked you who your favorite villains were in the last community post, and here are your answers. Let's spin the wheel to see who is getting the very first build of this challenge. A house of Hades. I'm going to take inspiration from ancient Greek architecture, so I'll build pretty much a regular rectangular house, raise it up on a platform, and then add a deck all the way around. Then most importantly, I'm gonna have these stairs going all the way across the front. And then instead of these fences, I'm adding in these ionic columns. And then we put on our pyramid roof, pull out the eaves, and lower the pitch. You can add in a little something like that. And we'll have to find some symbol of death to put here, you know, because he's the god of the dead. Now I just need a super grand door. Ooh, I mean, that screams Hades. And that reminds me, we need to add his gargoyles. Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with that. It is so extra, and Hades is quite extra. We can add in these ridiculous over the top braziers. I feel like we need some little windows in the front too. Maybe we can use these baby windows from the castle kit. I just aged to this thing like a century. Oh my gosh. Shout out to the castle estate kit for coming through. Gosh, it looks gorgeous. If you're interested in getting it for yourself, I actually have an affiliate code you can use, charmeliannn with the extra N's at the end. You can use this code when purchasing Sims packs in the EA app at no extra cost to you, and it supports me directly as a Sims creator. This skull-shaped gemstone. I am just going to raise this up using the 9 key, and then I'm moving it smoothly with the Alt key until I've got it about where I want it. That is so cool, but we can make it even cooler if I use tool mod to rotate it. I think we nailed this one. I just had an interesting thought. What if we gave him a coffin instead of a bed? What if we gave him a basement coffin? He is the god of the underworld, and of course the god of the underworld should have a basement. Having this nice long wall here gives us plenty of room for a kitchen. Ooh, which we can use Realm of Magic for. I just moved the fridge over to the other wall so that I can wrap this kitchen around and have a little bit more room for the stove. One trick I like to do to make a space feel more finished is put cabinets all the way at the top of the ceiling. Another thing that will really help is lighting, but I don't want to do that until the end so we can actually see what we're building. And we have so many spooky clutter items from all of the occult packs, Strangerville, paranormal. I'm also going to add a couple of shelving units right above the stove because they have so much space between these cabinets. We can add just even more creepy items, maybe some potions. When there's an opportunity to put the cow plant on top of your fridge, you always take it. You know what? Let's go ahead and add in a literal specter. This will also be something that shows up in live mode. Whenever I'm looking for creepy plants, I like to go with something in this light ashy tone because it says, I'm dead. And that's what we're going for here. And I am thinking these super cool lanterns. And now I will change that light to aqua. See, just making that little lighting change makes such a huge difference. Now over here, we'll have a teeny tiny little dining table. I just scooched this over to make it a little more sense. We've got a table with iron legs to bring in even more of those iron wrought details to kind of give the illusion that it's taking up less space. We have this new food pedestal with the party stuff kit. I'm basically going to use this to build a death shrine. See, isn't that nice? Let's put these gothic candles overhead. And you already know, we're turning them blue. I love this so far. It's hard to know what to expect when I go into these builds, so I am pleasantly surprised, to say the least. There is still an empty corner over here, but we can squeeze this cabinet from Crystal Creations in the corner. And look at that, it comes in blue. And there is still plenty of room to get down the stairs. And this is where he's going to keep his collection of skulls. I'm actually noticing that this corridor is like way too dark. So let's add at least one light down the hallway. Ooh, what if we added a gravestone? Okay, now this floor is complete. Now we've got to meander on down to the underworld. Here lies Hades, god of the dead. Gosh, I'm even tempted to go all black just to really seal the deal that we are in the underworld now. But of course, we'll switch the lighting to blue. Wait a minute. Have I been misremembering again about the gargoyles? Oh my gosh, I have. Wait, I keep doing this. I have always, for whatever reason, confused the imps from Hercules with the gargoyles from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Are you kidding me? Gargoyles are the closest thing to imps that we have. And I did remember correctly that there are 2 of them in each. So I think we're still on track. Just didn't have it right in my head. Just want to set the record straight before I add another gargoyle. In fact, maybe I shouldn't. This statue of Medusa obviously has more Greek vibes to it. And then listen, just because we're sleeping in a coffin doesn't mean it can't be comfortable. His deathly throne and a little table so he can come down here and drink his daily ambrosia. Oh, do you think I should maybe add a handrail? It would be really inconvenient if he had a mishap on the stairs. Who would govern the souls of the dead? All right, his spooky little lair is finished. Now we need a bathroom. This may be a tiny bathroom, but it sure is gonna be bougie. I almost forgot, I do need to give him a tiny shower. Although you'd think he would have come up with a way to keep from having to do that too. But for your Sims' sakes, I will include it. All right, and with that, this build is finished. Hades' house looks right at home in this lot, especially with the graveyard in the background. You know what's next. It's time to find out who his neighbor is going to be. Maleficent! Starting with a tower in the back to represent her locking away little baby Aurora. I want it to be tall and narrow, just like Maleficent. I think what'll also help give it a more castle-like effect is if I just round off these edges. Also gonna go ahead and give her a upper balcony for drama. And then we add the spires. If you didn't catch on already, I'm modeling this a little bit after Aurora's castle, but a dark version that's been overtaken by Maleficent's thorns. Yes, very spooky. But for Maleficent's house, we are going full medieval. That is the time period the movie is set in. Ooh, I could have an archway there and then add the actual front door right inside, just to add a little depth and dimension. Very fancy. I love that. I'm just sliding this same sconce we used in the other house into the door frame so it looks built in, and I'm just turning these lights green with Better Build By, and bam. Then I'll combine those windows with these from the castle kit to bring back in some of that medieval vibe. That means for the door, we can have the same effect. So I think I'll have the gate be right here. And we'll just, instead of using a gate, delete a little entry. And then to make this transition between the 2 pavement types smoother, I'm going to add in this teeny tiny little fence from Get to Work. I'm also going to put that on either side. And then I'm just going to wrap this pavement around the castle. Then to get these little corner bits, I'm going to hit Control F to place quarter tiles. There we go. Now we've got a little courtyard. Now I'm going to use these dead, thorny rose bushes to fill in the remaining space. And what's really going to sell this are these creeping vines. And let's put a big old dead tree back there just for good measure. And then this is a little extra, but I'm actually going to add the fog machine from Party Essentials to make the ground all foggy and spooky. So we'll get even more of that green glow on the castle at night. Adding these little lanterns all around the build, on the balcony, and then turning the fire to her magical green. All right, and I think once again, that is it for the exterior. Let's go inside. Already obsessed with this little floor plan we've got here. You know what would make it even better though? Spiral staircases. Sims, please. I am begging you. Please give us spiral staircases. Thank you. Now we have to decide, do we make the interior the same medieval castle vibe or do we go a little bit more modern? Because I can just imagine black marble, black tile ceilings. We could use this as an accent wallpaper to represent the cottage in the woods. Honestly, she deserves a grand fireplace. Okay, I know this is going to be a little bit controversial, but what if I use this green veined marble instead? I promise it will look better under the green light. Just trust me. Ooh, let's give her this black rose rug as a nod to Briar Rose. And I'm not sure how, but I did end up with room for a chair. I like this one because it kind of reminds me of a cradle. We're really squeezing all the Easter eggs we can out of this one. Now, I want to clutter this entire mantle with tons of magic items. Also add in a little bit of fairy core to represent her past. This might be a silly idea, but I kind of want to try putting a curtain behind the TV just to add a little extra drama. You know what I just forgot about until this very moment? Maleficent also has lavender in her color scheme, so I guess this fridge will work for us. Then we'll have our wood-burning stove. And now I've got to figure out what to do with this awkward space. Now, I could close this off and create a pretty nice looking normal kitchen, despite how tiny it is. But I'm going to take it a step further and raise up this platform, delete the walls, and then use this extra space for shelving storage. Little bit of shelving, and look how fancy that is. Let's add a bouquet in that purple color that I totally didn't forget about, and add this skull, which actually is giving like desert witch. Then we'll add one more pendant lantern in the kitchen, and there we have it. Our teeny tiny kitchen and our very, very spooky living room are finished. Now, this is the perfect size for a bathroom. Or how could I not add a cauldron? Let's add some rain chains to really give dungeon energy. Since we made the downstairs a cauldron room, let's make this upstairs the bathroom. About as close as we can get to a dragon tub. Put our super fancy black sink on this side and our black toilet right next to it. Actually, should I go even a little bit more dramatic and use this one? Or even more dramatic and use this one? Or even more dramatic and use this one? We'll get that black marble tile in here. There, and now we can have the purple light up here, so we've got a nice mixture of colors. Our mirror on the wall, and there we go. Dragon bathroom all finished. Now let's work on the bedroom, which we actually have tons of space for. I'm so excited because we can actually pull off a very dramatic full-size bed with this one, as we should. Let's just do some really nice black hardwood flooring up here. Oh, and I can actually fit like a fur rug under the bed. I just want the most dramatic wardrobe. How stunning is that? Just using really simple round end tables to not overdo it. But I am going to add these crystals on either side, which you guessed it, we're gonna have glowing green. The way the purple light turns these the exact color that she wears. Yes, that's what I like to see. I think the best representation for the spindle would be this medieval mirror. And then up here, why don't we put a portrait of her fairy home? I don't remember what the two kingdoms are called, but there's the fairy kingdom and the human kingdom next to each other in Maleficent, the live action. If you know, you know. And since this room is pretty tiny, I'm only gonna put 3 little candles. You already know I'm turning the flames green. And that is the bedroom done. So I'm just gonna build like a really ominous room that kind of represents the curse. Let's also add a rocking chair. At this point, this build is extremely haunted. I am not going anywhere near this castle. I did add these thorns on the outside, but I'm also gonna put them inside. Just kind of adding these sparsely throughout the room as if it's overgrown and like really covering up the windows and the bigger walls. And just for fun, let's add the dragon plushie in here to really put it all together. And that is it for Maleficent's very spooky castle. I really enjoy putting my own little spins on these builds. It's more fun for me. And that way you don't get the same cookie cutter build every time. I do like to do the same characters in different challenges. Like I did Maleficent in the Every Room is a Different Disney Villain video. But the vibes are a little different, more corporate chic. I'll link that video here if you want to watch it. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know which villains you are most excited for. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye!